It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from Badger Brewery, the first ever brewery to ever appear on this channel over 15 years ago now, and that was Badger's England Gold, my first ever beer review on YouTube. This one I picked up in Home Bargains. How things have changed. Initially, 15 years ago, Badger were producing bottled beer, malty beer in bottles. Now we have canned craft beer in a 440ml can, 4.7% ABV. Paid £1.50 for this in Home Bargains, and it's an India Pale Lager, so it's going to be lager base with a load of hops in it, hopefully. Hazy, hoppy, citrusy. I think it's good from Badger. I think it's good that a brewery that survives, as long as Badger have survived because they evolve. You can't stand still. A brewery that lasts such a long time because they move with the times. And I feel with the Badger Outland series, it's an experimental series from them. And of course, if it proves that it works really well for them, they'll move it into their main line. As simple as that. On the back it says we're badgers, not sheep. 4.7% ABV. Let's have a look at the beer then. I mean, look at it. That could be from Magic Rock or Northern Monk or Cloudwater or another one of those craft breweries. One finger white head, nice frothy head, good levels of carbonation, nice amount of haze there. Not much in the way of sediment in the bottom of the glass. But let's get the aroma on this one. Let's say it was kind of strawy coloured beer. Yeah, it smells good. It smells really quite good. It's got that kind of sort of lager base, but with that fantastic, slightly kind of grapefruity, orange peel. Yeah, smells good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. My first question is, how has this ended up in Home Bargains for £1.50 a can? That is delicious. Really, really delicious beer. Unbelievably delicious, actually, for an India Pale Lager. There's a nice, almost sort of candied sweetness to begin with. But it's got the clinicalness of a lager. When I mean clinicalness, that sort of kind of sessionability, that amazing sessionability that a lager offers. That I want another one. And the best way to compliment a brewer, I sat around a table full of brewers about 5 years ago now in Sweden, and I said to them, what's one of you, as a bit of a kind of like a YouTube question to ask these people, what's the biggest compliment you get? And they all agreed having breakfast from this table in the morning, that the best thing you could say to a brewer is, I'll have another one. because it just means that the beer that you're drinking obviously is great enough that you want another one. And I can quite easily say, yeah, I could have another one and another one and another one. And I'm just wondering, is it that Home Bargains have got exclusive right, they've signed a deal with Badger on this, or have they bought a load of stock of this beer? I'll tell you about that in a moment. But flavour wise, going past that kind of almost, and it seems to have changed a little bit. It seems that sort of candied sweetness was very much in the first taste. That candied sweetness has dissipated just a little bit now, and you're getting a lot more of, say, a grapefruit or an orange peel, certainly. Carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth, releases more of the flavour. Little bit of bitterness on the back end, not too much bitterness. It's nice. It's really nice, it really is. So how has this ended up in Home Bargains? Either it's I don't think these beers from the likes of Badger end up as a permanent beer, so probably catch this whilst you can. Home Bargains are very good at buying. I remember years ago I used to buy this amazing sort of bowl-shaped soup about 12 years ago now, and it was quite expensive at the time. It was like £2 a tin for this soup. Unfortunately, this soup company went bust, and all of their stock ended up in Home Bargains, and it was something like 70p a tin. So they buy bankrupt stock, basically. Not saying for one moment Badger are bankrupt. The other things that can happen is that, say, Tesco initially say, hey, we'll have 60,000 cans of this beer. That then goes to the supermarket. For whatever reason, maybe it hasn't sold quite quickly. Maybe the taste has not quite made it for what they were trying to describe. For whatever reason, these beers end up being bulk bought by Home Bargains. And then you get that beer not for £2 or £3 a can as you would buy it in Tesco, but then you get to buy it for £1.50. So buy it while you can. I think it's a really, really, really good beer. We've smashed together the flavour of refreshing premium lager and a modern hazy IPA to create a truly unique hybrid. A trio of banging hops bring the refreshment of lager and the bold pine, and citrus of a classic IPA. The greatest combo since beer gardens and long summer evenings. Yeah, Badger, been around for such a long time. They call Hall and Woodhouse. It's a lovely beer. The Golden Glory and all the beer back in the day. Some of them were brilliant. They went through a stage, Badger, of putting their beer in clear glass bottles, which I wasn't a fan of. And I went through a phase of really kind of not really understanding where they were going and not really liking their beer. But as all good breweries do, they just change, they just evolve, they just get better, don't they? They last the test of time. And I think with Badger changing into this canned craft beer, they're going to last the test of time because they're still producing great beer. I'm going to rate this. It looks good, it smells good, it tastes good. I like this beer enough to give it a Stone the Crows. For the money, for that £1.50, fantastic beer, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.